Moses goes up on top of the mountain. God gives him the 10 Commandments. And the children of Israel are now being prepared to go. They don't know what lies ahead of them. They don't know that they've got 40 years to look forward to. 40 years of wanderings. They don't know about all the battles yet. They've had some of them already. They don't know how many times they're going to need food. They don't know how really thirsty they're going to get. They don't know how many of their friends and family are going to grumble their way across the desert. And God gives to them what I'm going to call the 10 keys to victory. Here they are. Write them down. Key number 1, listen. Listen. Listen to God. Chapter 19, verse 3, God says to Moses right up front, he said, I'm about to speak. And from that point on, we find repeatedly God saying to Moses, excuse me, are you listening to me? Have you ever talked to someone, feel like they don't listen? We all go through that, don't we? Did you hear anything I said? Am I suggesting that there's someone here right now this morning who hasn't heard a word? Yeah. Your mind's somewhere else. Listening actually is a discipline. Listen, that's key number 1. Just listen. Number 2, obey. That's chapter 19, verse 5. I just read that to you a minute ago. Chapter 19, verse 5 is a powerful. Now, therefore, if indeed you will obey me. Obedience is the clarion call of Christian discipleship. It's very simple, folks. Listen to what God says and then do what he says. We're struggling with that in America. As a nation, this nation that we love so much, we're not listening to the Lord. America's no longer listening to God. You know who we're listening to? One another. We're listening to political expediency. We're listening to compromise. I heard a country music artist yesterday on the radio say, quote, most important thing for us as Americans is to just do whatever we want as long as it makes us happy. Let me say that again. Most important thing for us Americans to do is to do whatever it is we want as long as it makes us happy. Really? Listen, obey. Number 3, respond. There's your third key to victory. Respond. You know that verse 8, all the people answered together and said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do. We will do. Respond to it. And sometimes in our own individual lives, that's what you and I have got to do. We've got to actually respond. We've got to say yes. We've got to get up and go. We've got to actually do. You know, that's true of all kinds of life. Yeah, I've got some great friends who smoke cigarettes. I love them. I don't love them or not love them because they smoke. "35 years ago, I would have sat down and had one with you. But I got a friend right now who told me just recently, he said, man, I'm trying to give up smoking. And I said to him, well, give it up. So I'm sorry about all you clinical psychologists and squeegees and everybody out there, and you nicotine gum chewers and patch makers and all these wonderful things that you do, and standing on your head upside down in the bathtub and all the other kinds of things that you do to try and stop down and slow down. I know, I'm going to get at least 150 letters telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about because smoking is addictive, but I'm one of those very simple-minded people that I think what you've got to do when you face something, you've got to lay that thing down. You've got to go through the hurt that is required in order to get through it. It hurts. You've got to writhe, you've got to sweat, you've got to walk around trying to inhale fumes everywhere. You've got to do whatever it takes. Listen, this is what God was saying. Watch this, folks. These are the keys to victorious living. You children of Israel belong to me. You've got to get through this next 40 years. It is going to be the toughest thing. Life is filled with challenges.